if it's recorded. I'm ready to go live. I'm live. I'm live. There's nobody there. Welcome to an impromptu live thing. I just thought I'd try this because I've got myself a new tablet. So I'm trying myself if I can, use StreamYard on it. Obviously it's working, but there's no one watching. But there you go. So I'm having a beer, unannounced. I don't expect anybody to be watching this. It would be absolutely hilarious. It's 11:45. It'll be absolutely hilarious if somebody will be watching. Someone's watching this. Whee! Someone's watching this. I just thought I'd come on. As I've got a new tablet, I want to check it out. So it seems to be working. No, they've gone off. Whee! They've gone off. They've buggered off. Is there anybody going to be there? Thinking, fucking hell. What's he up to? Is there anybody gonna come on? I've got an hour to kill. There's two people on now. There's two. Yes. Let's get the comments up. Let's see who's coming on. Let's see who's coming. Hello, Neil Morgan. Hello, mate. I thought, I've got myself a new tablet, so I'm trying it out for the first time. And I know it's a little bit early for a beer, but I thought I'll just try it. See if it's working. Leah, hello. How are you doing? Hope you got Elvis's new. I think you're measuring up, weren't you, for a new? I'll get a stand up for a minute. For a new little pouch for him, wasn't he? So yeah. So hope you're well as well. Yeah, I should have advertised this really because I'm not expecting anybody to come on here, to be honest. Because I just weren't. I just thought, see if it works, and it's obviously working very, very well. I haven't done a live one since lockdown, so a live one on my own is very rare. But I thought, I'll do it. So Neil's come on. What am I drinking? I am drinking. This is a Marks and Spencer beer. This is a chocolate porter. And I've got to stand up a little bit. This is a chocolate porter. I'll stand back a bit. A chocolate porter, which is Robinson's, brewed by Robinson's. It was £2.50. And it's pretty naff, to be honest. Hello, Leah. Yeah, I'm well. Sort of. You know what it is? I'm getting old and things are falling apart. And that's how I feel at the moment. I feel like, I'm getting close now, end of my 40s, and I feel pretty ropey, to be honest. I feel like old. I used to laugh at my parents when I used to say, you feel old, you don't know how we feel, if you're our age, you feel the same too and all that. And I'll tell you what, I'm starting to feel that now. I really am. I just feel like an old battered car, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's nearly. I was supposed to go off to work at a brewery today, but it got cancelled last minute. So I thought I'll review some beer this morning, which I have done, which are coming up later. And I've done another S43 beer, which is becoming a regular occurrence on my channel. So I'm going to do some more of them over the next few weeks. Pick a couple more up for you, hopefully, and get that sent to you at the end of April. Sorry, it's been a very, very long wait, but when you do what I do, you try to kind of like plan when you're going to send boxes out to people and that, and you tend to kind of like overshoot, your plans. Well, I'm going to send him a load of beer that time. I'm going to send him a load of beer that time. And obviously it just goes a bit, bit tits up, really. See if I can get this over here. Yeah, I was going to go to the S43 brewery. I went there last week, but there's a bottle shop. Which I go to, which is about 500 yards 500 yards from the brewery, and I go there, and they get all the beers. They get all the beers, kind of like all the new beers on the Thursday, even before they get onto the website, and they're bringing out another 4 beers this next month coming up. I haven't announced it yet, but the thing what I like about S43 is the fact is that everything is bespoke. There's no core range at S43, and all the beers they brew are one-offs, and I like that. I think that it's kind of like they're not kind of like sticking to the rules. They're kind of like experimenting all the time, and they're trying to push the boundaries, if you want, with beer. And I think it's really, really worked over the years, and that's what I like about them. I think because I've got another comment. Hello, Tommy, mate. How are you doing? Hope you're okay. I think did you have COVID? I think you mentioned you had COVID. Oh, yeah, I'm fine, mate. Hope you are too. Let's see, we're getting the comments rolling now. They're thinking, God, he's going live. You're like, you have such a good. Yeah, I think where I am, I have to say, I'm pretty lucky. I'm in Yorkshire, and Yorkshire is full of fantastic breweries. So I've got S43, I've got the Durham Brewery, which I highly rate as well. Then you've got the Steam Machine Brewery. Then you've got all the breweries in Newcastle, Alpha Delta. You've got all Full Circle. They're all there. So I'm pretty much sport for choice. And it's quite hard to keep on top of all the beers they release. But over time, you tend to kind of like stick to your favourites, which is, you know, from a beer reviewing perspective, you shouldn't be. You should be kind of like going with, you know, everybody. But it's very hard to do. And especially with a brewery like S43, it's very hard to keep up with. It really is. Yeah, that's fantastic, Tommy, mate. Glad that you're better. Back drinking beer, most probably. Can you taste? This is it. It took me a long time to get me taste back, for me personally. I don't know if Neil can taste. He might not. It's quite frustrating when you lose your sense of smell and taste, because over a while you feel perfectly fine, and when you want a beer, you can't taste it. So it's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, it was. It was dangerous, that beer, to be honest. It was very deceptive. It's kind of like, it was a Belgian strong beer, but it was very, very, what's the word? Heavy. I think it was one of them type of beers which I think if you had too much of, should I say, you would really, really, really feel it. You really would. It was dangerous. It was nothing, special with the beer itself. It did what it said on the can. It was a Belgian strong, but Christ, I couldn't drink too many of them. You certainly feel it. Yeah. It's annoying, isn't it? Because you most probably feel okay that you want to drink, but you can't, because you're trying, it hangs around for a very long time, and it's very, very frustrating. I think it took me a couple of months for it to come back. It does come back, but when it does come back, you don't realise that it has, funnily enough, because suddenly you started tasting stuff, what you eat and drink, and afterwards you think, oh yeah, it's come back, yeah, it's kind of like a weird one. Tommy says, yeah, I can taste, mate. That started to go 2 days into my isolation, but luckily I've got it back. Taking the missus, my grandparents, out for a meal tonight to make up for the absence of the last week. Yeah, why not? Take the family out. Hope it's not a McDonald's, Tommy. I think you're a little bit more refined than that. Or one of them places and restaurants with the plate and the slick of sauce between a couple of lumps of food, and you eat it in about 3 mouthfuls, and they give you a check. Well, they give you a bill for about 60 quid a head, something like that. You know, was it gourmet food they call it? You know, the chalkboard up in the restaurant, grass-fed beef and all this malarkey, and you think grass-fed beef, you know, that type of thing. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Neil Morgan says, I picked up a couple of S43, but I'll leave them until I can really enjoy. I would like to know, Neil, exactly what beers you did pick up, because I don't want to send you any which you've already got. So let us know. Thomas, yes, hello, mate. How are you doing? Haven't done this for a very long time. Hope you're well. Hope you kind of like in full fettle like you do, and enjoying. I haven't watched you for a while, which I'm kicking myself, because at least I'll admit it. I will watch you this weekend, my mate. So thank you for popping in. Thank you again, Thomas. Anybody who doesn't know who Thomas is, check his channel out. He is a cracking lad. He is. I still remember that interview you did with me. It was quite funny. I watched it. I watched it about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was quite funny, actually. We've got a chat. Oh, we've got Beer Hounds beer reviews. Hello, mate. Cheers from Orange County, California. Just consumed 3 Weavers, all hops, no breaks, hazy IPA. That sounds fantastic. What time is it in California now? If it's midday, I'll say about 4 o'clock in the morning, is it, in California? I'd imagine it would be. California, 4 o'clock in the morning, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying more American beers, to be honest. That sounds fantastic. It really does. Heath Drinks, hello, mate. How you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Tell us what you're drinking. I know it's early. You can tell us what you're drinking. You got the Molyneux and the shit hot. I've got you a can of shit hot, but, you know, you can have 2 now. I'll send you that other can, mate. No worries. Molinalo, it does work. That's all I can say about that. Beer Hound says 3:57 a.m. in the morning. It sounds about right. So I don't know if you're having this for breakfast, this beer you're drinking, or you're just finishing off a very, you know, a very late night. Tell us. Oh, crikey, I couldn't drink to that. 5 to 4 in California. He must be a postman. That's what I say. Beer Hounds beer reviews. He must be a postman getting up for work. I'm usually asleep by about 10 o'clock. I'm terrible, me. Yeah, no worries, mate. You know, I'm going to send it to you anyway. You'll have to. They're good beers. You've got to enjoy them. So, oh, definitely later. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit early, but I was supposed to do something today, but it never materialised. So I thought, let's have a couple of beers, do a review, and I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll pop on and do a live because I haven't done one for a very long time. So I thought, let's do this, and if this one goes well, I might do one tomorrow as well because I'll be reviewing beer tomorrow as well. So I've got a bit of a backlog. When you get a backlog, you feel like you need to get through it before you can get any more. Well, to justify yourself getting any more, if you know what I mean. So yeah, tell us what you're drinking later, Heath. I'd like to know. Before the free wheels, I enjoyed the North Coast Prankster Belly Ale and a Made West short-lived collab with Coast Craft West Coast IPA. Were good in a mall. Oh, well, this is it. You work swing shift. I've never heard of that term, swing shift, being a bit of a, you know, a bit of a Englishman. I don't understand swing shifts. Anybody in there? Well, you can tell us, Beer Hounds, if you want. What is a swing shift? I haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue what a swing shift is. So so far, thank you very much for everybody joining me. This was not advertised. I just thought, let's, stick it on and see who's about and enjoy who's about and have a little natter because it's been snowing, it's thawing, it's 3:30 p.m. till midnight. I never knew that. I never knew what a swing shift is. 3:30 till midnight. That sounds a pretty good shift, actually. It does. Leah says she's on the Dr. Pepper. On the Dr. Pepper. I used to like Dr. Pepper. The first time I came across Dr. Pepper, there used to be a game out when I was a kid called Tin Can Alley. You used to get a gun, you used to get a load of cans, and it weren't a game, it was just shooting these cans. It's an MB game. I think it was going for about a few years. I remember seeing it in my parents' K's catalogue, and all the cans were Dr. Pepper. That's just before Dr. Pepper was over here. And I thought, why the hell is Dr. Pepper? It's cracking, yeah. Tony Walker says, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Tony. How you doing, mate? Tell us what you're drinking. It's a little bit early, I know, but some of us do start a little early because we're a bit mad. Beer House calls it the lazy man shift. The lazy man shift. Why? Because the boss has gone home. That's why. That's why, innit? The boss has gone home and they're calling it the lazy man shift. Dr. Pepper, yeah, he's a classic, innit? Dr. Pepper, he really is. I think it's the soft drink I'll go for. I can't see myself. I don't really drink soft drinks, but I think Dr. Pepper would be the main one. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, let us know, Neil, when you come in New York, and I'll meet up with you. I'll show you where all the best sites are. If you know what I mean. Yeah, there's plenty of drinking establishments in York. You won't get bored anyway. Sleep in and stay up late drinking beers. That sounds fantastic. That if only I could stay up late. I had a problem on the bloody Fab show with Al, but that's another story. That's strong with PG tips. A cup of tea sorts everything out, Tony. At the end of the day, doesn't matter. Whenever you have a cup of tea, it sorts everything out. Me, I'm more Yorkshire tea person, but Heath Drinks is on the Wild Card Brewery, which I haven't had a beer from for a very long time. Can't pronounce that, so I'm not going to bother. IPA and tropical stout for later. That sounds like a nice little haul of beer to drink. Certainly does. Neil says he's got a coffee. What have you given Elvis? Is Elvis on his dog biscuits? Like you do, the cat's staring at me thinking, who's Elvis? I'll tell you who Elvis is. He's a little dog. He's half the size of you. In fact, I think he's about the size of your back end. Yeah, so yeah, cheers to everybody for joining us on this impromptu little live thing. Just thought I'd give it a go, see who's about. Yeah, this is another one from Beer Hound's Beer Reviews. He's saying, next up, I can't read that. Societe Bulbous Flowers Hazy IPA. That sounds fantastic, though. It does. Is why I've never done Beer 52, Heath, to be honest. I've never ever done them. I don't know why I haven't done them. There's no real reason. I just don't know. I should do it. So maybe I should. Maybe I should. I'll make a note. Try to do some Beer 52. Elvis on dog. No messy poo. That's fair enough. No messy poo. Leah says we've got Elvis a kitten eye to eat his too small for puppy ones. Now, Leah, I'll tell you now, this is what I've got for my cats. The cats go out. I've got one of these. That's for the Maine Coon. Okay. And I've got another one here, this was measured up. This was measured up by somebody who does cat harnesses. This was measured up for one of them. It's like a cat harness tailor I went to for that. So yeah, they go out. I get the weirdest looks from the neighbours, but you know, I get weird looks anyway. Don't make any difference to me. Beerhound says tropical floral juicy hops. That sounds nice. Enjoy that, mate. Leah says, what's the catwalk the other day? Yeah, I'll do. I'll take them out. I only go around the garden at the moment. I walk around the garden. I don't take them beyond that at the moment because there's lots of cats about and it's all territorial, if you know what I mean. So they like it. They do. They do. Trying to take them both out together is it's a bit hard, to be honest, because one goes in one direction, the other one goes in the other direction, and I ended up getting pulled apart. But, you know, they do like it, don't you? You know, she's just sitting there looking at me, thinking, who are you talking to? Well, I'm talking to this lot out here. Paul Stewart Boy, oh, yeah, that's all right, mate. No worries. I'll check if you got a channel, I'll check your channel out. I'm not too sure if I subscribe to you. I'll have a look at Beerhound's beer reviews. Yeah, I'll do it now and again. I will do it more often now. I've got a new tablet. Like, we got a new fellow in the room. Well, we got Furkan Simsek. Hey, hello, Furkan Simsek. Unusual name. Tell me where you are. Tell me where you come from. Yeah, that's an unusual name. And tell me about that picture as well. That looks quite unusual. So at the moment, it's all going a bit. Yes, herding cats. I do herd cats. I like a cat shepherd. They're kind of like, you know, without the whistling. Obviously, they're not dogs. You know, cats don't understand whistling from a shepherd. But Turkey, wow. Cheers for tuning in, mate. Appreciate it. When Elvis had his second injection, we can take him to the beach, then have to watch the seagulls don't take him. Yeah. I mean, he's tiny, isn't he? Tell us how much he weighs. He must weigh nothing. I mean, he's only must be about that big. Surely. Beer House Beer Reviews. I also have some guitar shred stuff in there too. I like a bit of shredding. I do. I like guitar shredding. Years ago, I used to play, but arthritis in my hand buggered that up. So I hadn't thinking of getting another guitar, to be honest, but that's gone down. Tony Walker says, come by. How did I come by? Are you saying the term come by herding cats? I'm not too sure, Tony. Please state what you meant by that. Under a kilo? Is there any dog there? He's under a kilo. How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? 7 kilo? The cat weighs 7 kilo. You never stop shredding. It's all right for some. I pity your neighbours. I bet the neighbours would be happy with you, unless you're living in the middle of nowhere, which is fantastic. Imagine that, can you? Shredding. I think the cats are like that, wouldn't you? You would like that. Less than a bag of sugar. I think you should fatten him up, Neil. I do. I think you should start kind of like giving him some pork scratchings or something. Fatten him up, because it sounds like very, very, very small. I suppose they're supposed to be under a kilo for a dog. What do you reckon? No, she's looking at me. She's 7 kilos, so she's heavy. I have earbud amps. That's all right then. That'll keep the neighbours happy. Earbud amps, should I say? I don't think my cats have put up with me making a racket on the guitar, to be honest. Tell us who your favourite guitar player is. Here you go, Beer Hounds. Tell us who you think is the best guitar player. Tony Wall says, on One Man and His Dog, they whistle and say, come by, to give the dog commands. I was going to suggest you whistle and give the cats. I do give them commands, Tom. I do. I don't say come by. I just say, get your ass over here and pull the bugger, and the cat goes, meow, and I just pull it even more, and the cat goes, meow. Portable amps you can charge with a cell phone charger. I never knew that. Alex Skolnick, he's Testament, isn't he? And Joe Satriani, the old Satch. Can't moan with the old Satch. Haven't heard much Testament, to be honest with you. I think the only album I had was Practice What You Preach. But I will have a look. Have you tried FS Pilsner beer? I have, certainly. I have reviewed it. It's on my channel. Check it out. I haven't had many Turkish beers, to be honest. I know FS is the main one out there, and I do variations of their beer as well. I know there is a honey one about. I did do a canned beer from them, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, FS Pilsner, it's okay. Yeah, great for the hot weather, I'll tell you. Also, Yngwie Malmsteen. Now, I've seen footage of him. I wouldn't like to be that bloke's roadie, to be honest, beer hound, because he comes across as someone quite hard to get on with. He's a genius, don't get me wrong, but I'll tell you now, I couldn't get on with him. I couldn't get on with Percy, but brilliant player, brilliant player. Yeah, I will check it more of him out. Like I say, I've only got one album up there upstairs from him. I will dig it out and listen to it. Yes, it was, if I remember. They did that with the Baltica. I remember buying them both together. I haven't been in home bargains for a very long time. Funny enough, this year, the channel was kind of like started to drift away from the shops, to be honest, and go into more local stuff to me. It was just a natural direction for me channel to go in. I think conscientiously think, well, I'm not going to do any more supermarket beer, because I will do supermarket beer, but over the course of this year, I'm just finding the ales and the more interesting stuff from local stuff, because I think sometimes with supermarkets there's a lot of mediocre stuff in the supermarkets, and it gets a little bit tiring, if you know what I mean. So sometimes it's great to have a break from it. Alex is also a master jazz. Most people don't know that. I never knew that. I knew he was a great guitarist, but I never knew that. Obviously, a lot of guitarists do get influenced by a lot of different styles of music, which makes them unique, I suppose. You could say a lot about a lot of different guitarists, but yeah. Jake, hello, mate. How you doing? How you keeping, bud? What you up to today? It's been shitty weather. I don't suppose you'd be out there doing some, videos and that, but let us know what you're doing. Test is the ritual. I'm not sure on that one, mate, to be honest. Like I say, was it the New Order, the first one? I had that. Did I have that? Might have had it on tape, but I can't remember. He's mind-blowing, really. I'll stop at that. I think you're talking about Yngwie, aren't you? He is mind-blowing, but he's a pain in the arse, I think, to work with. Bad weather, yeah, it is, mate. It is. It's pretty shit, isn't it? Considering this time last week, it was absolutely wonderful weather, and I was over Cumbria, and it was fantastic. Now it's, a bit shitty, but I suppose. I'm in North Yorkshire, Jake. I'm near Richmond, Richmond area. I like it up here. For Southerner, I've always liked Richmond. You're on the doorstep of the Yorkshire Dales as well, and you've got Leyburn, and you've got Wensleydale, and Barnard Castle over there. You've got Darlow over there. You've got over there, 40 minutes from York. It's great for me. New Order is the earlier. New Order is earlier than. I can't remember, to be honest. What guitar did I? Well, I used to have a Washburn years ago when I was twiddling about. I've been looking at other stuff. I always liked Explorers. I just like Explorers and look of them. And yeah, I mean, my favorite looking guitar for me was the Explorer 90, the Gibson Explorer Mark 90, which Matthias Yabs uses from the Scorpions. I've always liked that guitar. Yeah, will do. I'll check that out. Yeah, in Pickering, are you? Maybe we should one day, Jake. We should do a video together. That'd be great. There you go. I lay down the law. Meet up somewhere, do a video because it would be good. That I think. Pickering. I know Pickering relatively well because that was the road to Scarborough. Now Scarborough is always a bit of a dog leg. A bit of a dog leg for me to get over. It's a bit of a pain, but if I remember, I had a great chippy in Pickering, if I remember. S43 Pills looks good. I saw your review. Sorry if you're free ban a can. I go, well, mate, if you want a can, mate, I will send you a can of that. I'll pick it up next week. Let us know if you want it. I will get you one. Scorps, yes, he is underrated. He is. We've got Scott Wander in the house. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Big congratulations on your wedding. It looked absolutely wonderful. It looked like you had a great time in that beer video on Dean's channel. It looked like a good time, mate. Hope you're well and everything. Really do. Uli John Roth, another. Yes, Uli is a fantastic player. Early Scorpions, he was brilliant. He had a Hendrix influence about him. Yeah, he's up there. There's so many great guitarists out there. I could name a shitload, and I would, right, I'll get you a can next week, mate. I'll send you a message. No, I will. I'll get you that. It's a cracking Pils. It really is. It's one of the best Pilsners I've had from a craft brewery, to be honest. It's if you see Barry's video of that, he was totally the same as mine, really, to be honest. He loved it as well. It was a banging Pilsner. Banging. You saw Uli live. Yeah, I mean, was it the Electric Sun was his band? I can't remember his solo band now. I think it was Electric Sun. I did have a couple of albums from him. Yeah, I would actually, I might go back up and after this and listen to a bit of early Scorps, to be honest. The dog on the can is actually the dog from the owner of the brewery. I can't remember the name of the dog now. I said it in the video. But the thing what made this Pilsner different from a lot of Pilsners was the yeast strain. The yeast strain was from Weinsteffen. And you could really tell the difference in the taste of the beer. It was absolutely fantastic. It really was. So, yeah, I will get you one of them, mate. So, no worries. Electric Sun. Yeah, Electric Sun, yeah. I remember Electric Sun. I can't remember how many records they did. They did do a few, if I remember. Again, you know, when you have a great individual talent leaving a band, sometimes people just stay with the band, don't they? And you start to forget about some of the stuff the individual does on his own. And I think for me personally, Uli is one of them. I started to overlook him over, you know, after a while, after he left the Scorpions. And it's a big shame. And, you know, you try to support everybody, but I will go and listen to him later today. That's a good one, Beer House. I don't know. It's the same with Carling in the UK. Why do people like Carling so much? It's safe, it's drinkable, and they know what they're getting, to be honest. That's all I can say about it. I think it's one of them. beers which appeals to the masses, like a lot of beers do. You know, safe, easy drinking. You know, nothing much going on with it, and it's just one of them. It really is. It's just boring, bland, and safe, and people like that. It's a bit sad, but people do. Little Wayne is incredible too, really, Talia. Again, Little Wayne, another person overlooked for me. So tell us, you know, what I should be listening to regarding Little Wayne. I'd like to know. But yeah, this is going great. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. It's like off the cuff, like you do. And tell us what you're drinking. Tell us what you're drinking. You're drinking cups of tea. You're drinking cups of coffee. You, you know what I mean? Oh, that's absolutely brilliant, mate. But don't bother sending me yet. I want to send you something. You keep sending me something. I want to send you a box of beer first. So hold on to them, mate. But it'll be well appreciated when you do. Like I say, as a beer reviewer, it's hard to try and to get everybody something sent back. And, you know, I'm getting yours. I want to get yours sent before you send any more to me. So, you know, I like to kind of like repay people beer they send me and stuff like that. My dad would only drink Miller. Same with Mum. I would steal them, so Dad called me a bear hound. I think you've done them a favour by stealing them, to be honest, because they are terrible beers, aren't they? You know, I think, you know, if my father was still alive, I'd be dragging him to the bottle shop now and trying to get him to drink some decent beer instead of his shite he used to drink, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I know where you're coming from with that, to be honest. Yeah, so it's dinner time. So, well, it's a Saturday brunch. So, who's eating what? Tell me what you're eating. Me, I've just had Scotch broth. And I've done some beer reviews. I've done about 3 or 4 beer reviews. I'll be coming up today, and I'll be doing some more tomorrow, like you do. Tyro Dad called me beer hound, so the story goes on. Rest in peace, Dad. Buzz, hello, mate. How are you doing? Yeah, hello, Buzz. How are you doing? Hope you're well. I know you haven't been well. I hope you're better now, mate. Nice to hear from you. It really is. Yeah. Just stay strong, Buzz. Keep healthy. That's the main thing. My dad used to drink All Bright Bitter. Not familiar with All Bright Bitter, to be honest. My dad used to drink Breaker Lager. I don't know if you can still get it. It was horrendous. It tasted horrendous. I've never done a review on the stuff because I've never been able to get hold of it. But he used to drink it, and it was syrupy, sick. It was like a Tennant Super. Now, that's another beer which, to be honest, I haven't seen about, and I need to review it. And the other beer I need to do is Boddington's. I've never done a Boddington, so I've got to get hold of that. Cheese and pickle sarnie, followed by cheese and pickle. A double bag brewer PG, Tony. You spoil yourself, you mate. You really do. My grandma likes Schaefer and Bergie, says beer hounds. Can't remember what my grandpa used to like. Really can't. I'll have to think about that. All Bright Bitter was 3.3%. That sounds absolutely terrible, mate. So Stone's Bitter's about 3.3, isn't it? All them cheap bitters you get in the supermarkets for, you know, about £3 for about, no, £2 for 4, 50p a can, I bet. Make a nice shandy then, wouldn't it, mate? Yeah, rest in peace, Grandpa. You know what? It's weird when people say, you know, rest in peace, Grandpa, grandparents. I don't know what it is, but I don't know how you lot feel out there. But the generation which is going now, you know, like your grandparents or whatever, I miss them. I think I think the world is a worse place now when, your grandparents' generation are passing away, because all that knowledge, all that, you know, all that attitude, well, not attitude, they had away. The old generation grafted. They grafted for what they had. And to be honest, we've got a generation now which wants everything on a plate. And I just miss that old generation. You start the older generation, were appreciative of what they had. And nowadays, it's not like that. Tell me if you disagree with me on that one. I haven't seen Breaker in years. No, I haven't. But I don't think anybody would drink it now, to be honest. I can't see it. If anybody sees a can of Breaker, Neil, this is for you as well. If you see a can of Breaker, tell us, send me it. That's only one beer I want from you, that Breaker. What's in my fridge? Food. I don't keep my beer in the fridge. My beer's upstairs in a box. Basically, it's just, I'm trying to be on a diet. I'm trying to be good. But it's not, it never works. It never has done. So, yes, it is. You're right there. Definitely. I think, the generation of our grandparents, of what they stood for when they used to go out and do 12-hour days, and, they used to take, the kids out for days, none of this technology existed. And I just wish we were back in those days to a degree, because I think, the generation now, when you look at it on TV and you see, all these reality shows and everything, the people that have on these reality shows think they're entitled to something. And I don't agree with that. I think you should work for, what you got, you know what I mean? Without being, yeah. Hello, Scott. How's the scums doing it? Well, how it is, Scott. Same old story, innit? Not not particularly very well, but not particularly very bad. In fact, it's a little bit boring at the moment. No 9-0 defeats. So there's nothing for you to really laugh at the moment. But I'm sure over time there will be something happening which will make you lot over in the blue end chuckle, if you know what I mean. My mate gets it in his local corner shop. If I can get my hands on the can. Thank you very much for that, mate. A can of Breaker. I think, I think it's not. It's obviously people are different wherever you go, and people embrace technology differently. I get that, but I think, sometimes it's just nice to, go back to basic living, to have basic morals. And I think sometimes morals go out the window where technology is concerned and stuff like that. I think the earlier generation had a closer community spirit. Yeah, this is it. This is what I think is missing. That generation is going now, and I'm getting to that age now from being born in the 70s, where you notice the difference. You stuck between two generations. You notice what the older generation stood for, and you're looking at the younger generation as well. And I would rather be myself in the older generation, but that's just me. I don't even know. Probably fair enough, mate. Yeah, I know what you mean. It gets a little bit repetitive, but you got some great breweries in Pompey. I'm sure they more than make up for it, especially staggeringly good. Yeah, I know it gets a bit the same, but at the end of the day, there's always rivalry, but we're all the same, aren't we? At the end of the day, I think some people take that rivalry too far. No worries, be around. No worries. 5G is here. I'm not going to get into that conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Again, money, we need money. So you can't get by in life without money. So it's so just the 8th in the local blind league, mate. That's all right, isn't it? I'm sure. I don't know if Fred Dinage is still the on the committee at Pompey. I think he is, isn't he, Fred Dinage? How much is gas there? High. I haven't got gas myself. Actually, the village I live in hasn't even got gas, so I can't really say that. But if you're talking about gas, as in gas in the car, this is where the American thing. It's one. I think it's 165 a litre at the moment. Our chancellor is supposed to drop it 5 pence, but I've got a feeling he'll drop 5 pence and go up 10. That's what I think. So you go 4 and Acom, South Street Brew, make all great brewers. So I've got some great stuff. Unity, Dancing Man. I've heard of Unity. I think I had one from them. Yeah, but there are some great breweries down there, I have to say. There's great breweries everywhere. And that's what makes it exciting. And like I said earlier in this stream, it's making me go towards the breweries more than shops at the moment. It really is. Some great breweries. Even Hitler would turn the gas on with current pricing. I think he would. I think he would. Absolutely shocking. Whatever's going on in the world, it's shocking at the moment. It is. It's terrible. It really is. I'm converting my Electra Townie with a 15-watt electric motor e-kit and parking the truck. That is all gobbledygook to me. I'll be honest. If you're talking about electric cars, I can't see myself getting an electric car. I just can't. It's electric cars. I don't do, I just can't see myself ever getting one, an electric car. You just want the full power of the petrol, you want to put your foot down. Electric car. You really kind of like, do you think the people would like driving electric cars everywhere? I just don't think they would. I think, it'd be like driving a little milk float. Little milk float. We charge it with the solar power. Yes. The solar power. Is that the next big thing? The solar power. Converting one of my bicycles to electric for commuting. Well, you can buy them now, electric bicycles, but again, they are quite pricey, electric bikes. You're talking £1,000 for an electric bike over here, at least I'd imagine. So I don't know what it would be like in America for an electric bike, but they're not really doing themselves any favours with the prices of them, obviously, because if they want people to drive electric and ride electric, it has to be cheaper for them to buy. And I don't think they're cheap enough for people to buy. Same with electric cars. You think, well, what's the point? Get an electric car, it costs a few £1,000, Plus, there's no infrastructure for it to charge up anywhere. I can build it for, $1,500 for an electric. Yeah, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. People want it for nothing. Hey up, my doghouse. Yes, it's just got an electric car. The price of petrol is definitely the way to go. Full charge costs about £3. But do you miss, the actual feel of driving a petrol? I know they're expensive, aren't they? So do you, I don't know. I just can't see myself driving an electric car. I can't. My built one go 30 plus mile per hour factory built, limited to 22 mile per hour. That must be your electric bike, not your electric car. I need to replace the battery on my electric bike. It's 400 quid. Now, this is it. This is what someone said to me about electric cars, electric bikes, and all of that, is that the manufacturers of these vehicles, they don't know what they're going to do with the batteries after the lifespan of the car. If you're buying a second-hand, obviously, you're going to have batteries in these cars, and the batteries, I'd imagine, they'll be the most expensive thing in the car, be like a car engine. So they'll have a limited lifespan. So would it affect the second-hand car market, this? Because obviously, if you buy a second-hand electric car, the power of the batteries would have diminished at some point. So it makes you think, if you've got batteries in a car, you know, how long they will last. And once they're, you know, knackered, is it the price you pay for having to buy a new car? You know, that's it. Trans Am. Oh, Trans Am. I like a Trans Am. That's one thing I wouldn't mind, a Trans Am. That'd be cracking, that. Hitting an American highway and that on the Trans Am would be fantastic. But, you know, I'm getting at about it. Yes, learn how to rebuild, but do they know how to rebuild batteries? I don't know if they do. I mean, all we have over here in the English press is about factories going up, about building new batteries. There's nothing really been said about second-hand batteries. There's nothing. Really isn't. Which is a little bit concerning, really, because what's the year they're supposed to stop selling normal petrol cars? Is it 2030? Something like that. The government put out, the English government put up. So who knows? But it's not good. I don't think they've really thought about it, to be honest. Oh, that sounds like a beast. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. See, you wouldn't get any of that if everything was electric, would you? You wouldn't. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what I mean by sad. Yeah, but I think you're talking about the batteries. But it makes you think. You imagine coming home from the pub on a Saturday night and you've got rows of electric cars plugged in along the high street, and you had a few, and you start pulling them out. Everyone gets up for work in the morning, and all the cars are flat. I could imagine. I certainly could. So this is going all right. This, tell us what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you do. I'm still drinking this. I don't think it's a bit naff. Yeah, tell us what you're drinking, eating, whatever. It's Saturday dinner time, and I'm live for some silly reason. Some silly reason. The Trans Am 45 people will make the old sphincter squitch for sure. I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would. On Untapped, it says Breaker is no longer by the. Oh, boo. I didn't think it was, to be honest, Neil. I can't see Breaker ever coming out again. It was a horrendous beer. Absolutely terrible. I don't know who brewed it either. I haven't got a clue who brewed that. It was like battery acid, really. My old man used to drink 4 cans of it every night, and you think, oh, awful. Awful beer. Oh, it'd be nice actually just to do a review of it. But, you know, never mind. I'm not surprised by that. I'm eating Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Keep the old system in high beer. He's eating Raisin Bran to keep the old system performing. Well, yeah, sometimes if you eat too much of it, it does make your system perform too well. It does. Molson Coors, brewed by Molson Coors. I never knew. I don't think Molson Coors would really advertise that on their roster, to be honest. I can't see a special a special breaker, a special breaker kind of like beer coming out, about a barrel-aged breaker. That would be quite cool. Aged with vodka. Tony says, have you ever tried any beers? Yes, I have. Quite a few, to be honest. Have I had the Triple XB? I'm not too sure on that one. I had the Mocha beer, which was rather enjoyable. The Victory Ale was nice. What was the other one? They did a Amaretto beer, if I'm not mistaken, a few years back. That was really nice. Amaretto does work well with beer, to be honest. It really does. Yeah, Bateman's their beers are, you know, okay. They are. They're very drinkable. For sure. From sure. Yeah, I don't mind Bateman's. Beer Hounds says, Loma, I judge my day how well the sphincter performed in the early hours. Fair enough. I heard Colt 45 when I was a kid. That was awful stuff too. Colt 45, yes, I remember that. Vaguely. It's like they had a soft drink out when I was a kid called Tab as well. I don't know if you remember that one. Beyond says, TMI, it seems. Lol. He says, thoughts on Mickey's. Mickey's, I don't know what you're trying to get with Mickey's. Mickey's. I'm not sure what Mickey's is. In England, we don't hear of Mickey's. So please diverge, Beer Hounds. I don't know what you mean by Mickey's. Mickey Mouse. That's the only Mickey. Tab Clear was big. Yeah, I remember it used to be over in the 70s. It used to be available late 70s, early 80s. I remember it being in like a reddish, pinkish can, if I remember. Let's go up. Mickey's malt liqueur. Never had it. Never had it. We won't get that over here in the UK. Malt liquor. You know, it's not a thing in the UK, to be honest with you. It's just not one of them things we would gravitate to. Used to drink Mickey's TAs. Tell us how strong this Mickey's was. I would like to know actually how strong Mickey's was. I'd imagine it being relatively strong. Until your ears bled, and I would say it'd be pretty strong. Mickey's, you know, malt liquor it's not an English thing. It just isn't. You don't see it anywhere. I remember something called Cointreau. Yes, that rings a bell. Cointreau. The name rings a bell, but I can't remember what the can looked like. I really can't. Cointreau. Yeah, that's a blast from the past. But again, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you what the can looked like. I really couldn't. Really couldn't. But you know, there's always kind of like a market for stuff. There's always a market for, you know, the older 70s, 80s drinks in it for people to buy, because there's always a child in you, and you think, oh, why can't I, you know, can I get hold of that again, or can't I get hold of something else, you know? Beer House, I think it was 6%, just easy to drink because the bottles were grenades. They're actually shaped like grenades. That sounds bizarre. Funny you said that. I remember being in a shop in Greece once, and went down to the bottom of the shop, and they had all this ouzo in this shop, and on the ground there was this case. It was shut, so I opened it, and it had grenades and a machine gun bottle with ouzo in, and I thought, well, I couldn't take that from the airport. There'd be us going on about American football. Football season time, it's to drop the Cleveland Browns off at the Rose Bowl. I think he means about something else. I think it means something else. I've never heard of that saying before, but I think you know where you're going. It's football season time to drop the Cleveland Browns off at the Rose Bowl. Time to go to the pool and drop the kids off. Yes. Yes, shaped like grenades, green to easy to slam. Yeah, that sounds about it. Definitely. Sounds very, very dangerous. I think that'll explode in you as well. Too much of that. Yeah, I think it's bizarre that you get some of these drinks that are kind of like designed in bottles shaped like kind of like weapons. You think, especially if you're bored, you think, oh, I have to try and see if I take that home with me. Obviously, you can't. It's a wee bit stupid, if you know what I mean. So, Saturday brunch, tell us what you're eating. Tell us what drinks you're drinking. I'm not going to end up drinking that. That's a terrible beer. Well, it's not terrible. It's just a bit meh, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, it's just one of them days, really, where you're a bit of a loose end, I do like me weekends, but sometimes when you get the weather shitty and it's kind of like, not a lot to do. So, see what else we got. We used to slam the Mickey, then put on the boxing gloves and have some fun. I could imagine that. Imagine just drinking all your, slamming back a load of spirits, getting your boxing gloves on and just beating 7 bells out of each other. That sounds like a good night out. Certainly does that. You can imagine. Going out with your mates, getting drunk and going back to one of their houses and getting the boxing gloves on. He'll be back. He's prairie dogging. I'll tell you, I know what prairie dogging's all about either. It's another American saying for going to the toilet, I think. Certainly is, I'd imagine, out there. Not that I've been to America or feel like I should go to America. It's just one of them places where you think yourself, I might one day go once and see what it's like. But if it's a bit naff, then, if you know what I mean, America being America. So, I only got 2 in chat, but thank you for that, Tony. Same thing as touching cloth. Now I know. They don't let us go on the streets yet. No. Same as touching cloth. I ain't heard that saying for ages either. Same as touching cloth. Got to go and touch some cloth. It's an old saying, that, definitely. So, tell us what you're eating, what you're drinking. Saturday brunch. I do. Haven't eaten much, to be honest. Haven't drunk that much, to be honest. Had a beer so bad earlier, went down the toilet. It was really bad. Not that it was the beer's fault, it was the brewer's fault. It's absolutely terrible. So, tell us if you had any bad beers past few months. Been a while since I've been doing this, so yeah, tell us. Tell us where you come from. Tell us what the weather's like. If it's cold and freezing like it is up here, then it's pretty cold, pretty freezing, pretty dull, pretty boring. Tony says we have a spice and easy spice fusion in the slow cooker for later. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, Tony, to vote for the strange sandwich next Saturday. I can't wait to try it, whatever it is. Be kind, please. I don't want anything which is too horrible, because the last spicy sandwich was started to repeat me on me a little bit. If you mean. What's this? He's got a tan. He's got a tan. Beer Hounds Beer Reviews. He's got a tan. Again, it's flew right over my head. That. So tell us what you mean by you got a tan, because I haven't got a clue what you're going on about. Oh, me being a stupid Englishman. I'll put a suggestion in of chicken Kiev, onion bhaji, and mango chutney. That sounds all right, actually. Chicken Kiev, onion bhaji, mango chutney sounds. You've been kind there, Tony. I thank you for that. I was expecting something more horrendous, but chicken Kiev, I could very much put up with that. So thank you for that, Tony. Can't consume any lagers anymore. I think you bloated yourself out of your beer house. I think he has. The Wrexham last year, they sell the bootlegger Pilsner home bargains. I don't know if it will be in yours, but have a look. It's a decent beer. I think I've done the bootlegger. Barry at All the Beer No Idea sent me that. He's on later, so check him out. He's 2 years old, his channel. 2 years old. Still a young pup, Barry. A tan is my skin. Is my skin turned brown from white? A tan is my skin my skin turning brown from white. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've got you now. A tan. Yes, because over here people have spray tans. Is lager and pilsner the same? Not necessarily. No. Brewing methods are very, very similar. Pilsner usually have a certain hop in called the SARS hop, SAAZ hop, and Pilsner is usually it's a Czech beer. It originates from Czechoslovakia, Eastern Europe, and so there is certain differences between a normal lager and a Pilsner. For me, the best Pilsner is Pilsner Urquell, worldwide available. For me, it's the best one out there. The Budvar is a good one. The Budweiser Budvar was a good one. And I find with Pilsners there's a lot of great small batch craft brewers who do great pilsners. The brewing process in Pilsner and lager, I would say, is the same, because you're lagering. Everything is at a low temperature, fermented at a low temperature. So, the processes are very, very similar, if not the same. But I think this is me going out of my comfort zone by saying this. The Pilsner has the SARS hop in. I mean, some lagers, whether or not that SARS hop is, totally hop use, it has to have that hop in to be a Pilsner. I can't say that. I'm not a brewer as such. But lager, if you look at lagers, lager is such a generic term. Lager, it's I don't know if I have. I'll just say what I think. Lager is such a generic term. Lager is a term which it covers a lot. You could buy a craft lager from, say, a craft brewery, and you could buy a can of Foster's or Carlin, and you could drink them back to back, but the two beers would not have anything in common with each other, apart from maybe the look of them. You could make a lager is what you put into it, basically. Cheapness, high gravity brewing even, which I think Foster's and the likes of Carlin would do high gravity brewing. Is, you know, a thing which I don't agree with, because, you know, it is, you're cutting corners. But then you could go to a craft brewery who would brew a craft lager honestly and use proper ingredients, and it would tell you drastically in the quality of the two. It will prove that the ingredients are the talking points in lagers. And for me, you know, a really good lager has great ingredients in, as opposed to something from Carlin or whatever. Okay, got it. So really only two. Well, if you could say that, yeah, but you know, there's similarities between the two regarding processes, because obviously you're fermenting at a low temperature, which keeps the yeast at the bottom of the fermentation. So there are similarities between them, but I think it all goes down to the ingredients, as ever. Cold versus boiled brewed. Yeah, more or less. Boiled brewed, I mean, you know, you look at a beer which is, say, fermented um, at a higher temperature, that the yeast rises because it's a higher temperature. You find a lot of Belgian beers are brewed that way, with the yeast at the top. Usually, the stronger the beer as well, the longer it stays like that. Pilsner, I mean, a lot of breweries. This is a debatable thing. A lot of breweries, for me, will stick Pilsner on the can or on the label, and it doesn't necessarily taste like a proper Pilsner. For me, a Pilsner should be clean, should be slightly bitter, slightly floral, even. Where a lager for me is maltier, slightly syrupy. So there is differences in the taste, and you sometimes a lot of, I don't always like it in America, but in the UK you get supermarkets just putting Pilsner onto a label, and the consumer will pick them up and think, wow, that's a Pilsner, it's great. And sometimes, usually, it's not really a bona fide Pilsner, because it hasn't got them elements what you look for, you know, in the taste and in the ingredients. So for me, if you want a decent Pilsner, then you got to have a Czech brewed one, you know, because that is where they come from. The Pilsner Urquells, you know, the Budvars, they are for me proper Pilsners. But looking at the craft breweries, I mean, they do some great interpretations. Now, the S43 brewery did a Pilsner. They used a yeast strain from Vine Stefana. And, you know, he could call it not a true Pilsner, but it created something quite special. It was an interpretation of a Pilsner, if you want, because it did have elements of a clean bitter edging. Brewing seems so simple and possible, just like, I mean, brewing, there's so many different factors you've got to take into account, and there's so many different methods of brewing. I've just learned about pressured fermentation this week. Pressured fermentation. What is pressured fermentation? You know, when you're fermenting, you're giving off CO2, and there's usually an escape for the CO2. But pressure fermentation is using the CO2 to kind of like smother the yeast, to keep the pressure on the yeast to ferment more. I found that out I've never even heard of pressure fermentation ever. So that's a new one on me. There's always something to learn regarding brewing different beer or brewing methods. I don't know if I could put some good beers. I like drinking them, but you know, you need patience and you need to, you know, really think about all the elements which are involved: the yeast, the water quality, everything, quantities. Quantities and amounts are obviously key to brewing. How much hops you put in, you know, how much does your tank hold, you know, how much malt do you put in, you know, dry hopping, you know, everything. It's all about quantities. These breweries are geniuses, they really are. My favourite super is Audi. Yeah, the Audi Rhinebacker is an interesting one for me because they changed it. And I don't think it's as good now as what it used to be. There, I was told once that they were discontinuing it a while back, and I put this video up saying, you know, Audi are going to discontinue the Rhinebacker, but I never did. They basically all they did was put in a new jacket. So yeah, it's an interesting one, Heath. That could be my nickname, pressure fermentation. Trouble is, there's usually a gas escape under the duvet. That's true. You could say that, yeah. Yeah, like I say, that's the first time I heard of it. To be honest, I've never seen it on a pressure fermentation. I don't think it's something I've read on a bottle or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, I think everybody. It's a great thing about brewing is that everyone's looking for different ways, innovations, different way of doing it. You know, so you know, it's you got to be clever to brew beer. I had it once. We supermarket over in the UK imported it in Pabs Women. Can't remember much of it, to be honest. I can't remember. I know it's a big seller over there, but I remember doing it, but I can't remember it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't as good the new Rhinebacker, if I remember rightly. This is what happens with, especially the cheap stores like Aldi and Lidl. You know, at the end of the day, the consumers go there because it's cheap. And you can't blame consumers, especially in this day and age, going there when it's cheap. But when you look at, you know, some, especially with the beer, you know, what they put in them, what corners they you know, it's a bit like Brewdog as well. They cut corners in their brewing methods, cheaper ingredients, you know, timing as well, because obviously brewing or fermentation takes time. They could cut corners on that. So everything, I think, with these cheap stores and everything is done to a set budget and corners are cut. Whether or not the beer is any good at the end of the day is open for debate, isn't it? At the end of the day, so you know, it's you just get to a point where you feel as though you're on a treadmill and or hamster wheel, and you go into these supermarkets and you're spending £3, £3.50 on a beer, and it's very ordinary, and it gets to the point where you think, oh, I can't be bothered. I need a break from all this supermarket craft. It's all a bit samey. It's a bit step back. Let's look for the alternatives. Let's go to your local breweries. Let's pick up local beers. Let's start championing, making a difference with your channel, you know. And, you know, it's that's how it goes. I've never had that either, Beer Hound, Yingling. So that's a new one on me. I've heard of the name, but yeah. Pabs Ribbon, I had it in Tesco. I remember picking it up, 750ml bottle. It was this 750ml bottle. Not too sure. It didn't really resonate or do anything for me, to be honest. So, yeah. Neil Wall says, I give Brewdog a wide berth now. They have messed around with the few good beers I had. They have. I've got really no comment to say on, you know, what's happened regarding the business and you know the owners or whatever, you know, the scandal of it all, because I think I said enough of that in the video I did on them. Me personally, what do I think of Brewdog? You know, I don't really. I think I've done so many Brewdog beers over the years that you think to yourself, I don't think I really want to do any more for a while, because it's the same problem with them all the time. In all these beers I've done, it's the same problem regarding the quality, regarding the price, the quality, the taste. It's everything about that brewery is wrong for me. It just does not tick any boxes anymore, and you know you can see through a lot of it. And you pick them up at the supermarkets, you drink them, and you think, God, I don't know about if I could do any more Brewdog. I'm sure I will, but see, I'm not familiar with Silt's malt liquor either. I'm seriously not. He drinks. Have you tried Audi 1070? I don't think I have, actually. It's at the Kronenberg one. I think it is, isn't it, Heath? I haven't had that. I might have to do that next time I'm in Audi, so cheers for that. Christoph is in. Hello, Christoph, mate. How are you doing? Great seeing you that time. I will hopefully get something for you. I'll give you a buzz. I'll get some more beers for you to try. Nice to hear from you, mate. We're going to squeeze in a Mondello before Mummy wakes up. Okay. Cheers for that. I know you're a fan of Hazy Jane Till I Miss. Yes. Again, this is this thing with the Brewdog thing, which I have a big problem with. The Hazy Jane, the first time it was in the can, I'm not the only one to say this, was a fantastic beer, if not one of their best beers. If could be the best beer they put out in the supermarket. The original Hazy Jane was fantastic. Big fan of it. Then all of a sudden they brought out these 3 Hazy Janes. Is it 3 of them? I can't remember the names of them. And they were very similar, different in strengths, which tells me that they're brewing high gravity brewing. So they're brewing it to a very high ABV, then watering the beer down to sell in different formats under different guises, under different names. So they're getting more beer out of a tank. You know, they're maximizing their brewing tank, if you want to call it a tank, or a vat, if you want to call it a vat. And that is basically what Brewdog have done. I think they won't admit to it, but I know. I'm no fool. They are trying to get the most out of that brewery, out of that capacity of that brewery for the consumer. And I don't think the quality of the beer really matters anymore to them. But that's my opinion. Right, I will try that 1079, Heath. Thanks for that. Christoph, if Christoph says it's good, it's got to be good. If nobody's checked out Al Digestation, check him out on YouTube. Cracking fella, cracking reviewer. Do it after this. After this, he do it now. He won't. The Signature Brewers seem to be the masters of advertising, but are becoming the thing they claim to despise. Yes, you're hitting the nail on the head there, Tony. They created, they tried to create basically a lifestyle, didn't they? You had these so many people who were so kind of like Brewdog, kind of like real loyal following, especially with this share thing they're doing. And to be honest, people are seeing through it now. And a lot of people are seeing through it. And yeah, it's terrible, terrible. B-Round says, back with the Mondello, pretty rough. I've never had that, to be honest. Neil Morgan says, Rhinebacker from Lidl is very similar. Yeah, they are very similar. Very similar indeed. I think lots of crossover when it comes to them two supermarkets, a lot of products cross over, don't they? Matthew's in. Hello, mate. Good afternoon. I'm just out. So quick hello. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Hope you are too. Hope you are too and enjoying wherever you are. 1079 is OG pretty good. Listen, I'm going to have to do this beer and I haven't done it. Is a Miller has a cult following like that? Yeah, I would say a lot of the big brewing concerns have a cult following. And sometimes I don't get why they do have a cult following. Because a lot of the time, the beer is pretty shite, but people seem to drink it. And I don't get it. I don't get why people would stay loyal to it. Doesn't matter what, if it's beer, it doesn't matter if it's anything, food or anything, why people are loyal to something which is so mediocre. And it's the same with Brewdog. I don't get why they're so popular. I just don't. Have I ever drunk in a Brewdog bar? I have. Did I enjoy it? Not really. It's just reminded me of the McDonald's takeaway of craft beer, to be honest. It just don't do anything for me. It really doesn't. Right. I'll do it. See if I can do it next week. 1079 in a 4-pack. Next week I'll pick some up, mate. I'll see if I can try. Don't get it either. My dad will not drink anything else. They hate all other beers. Yeah, it's weird, and it is weird. Brand loyalty. How does brand loyalty work? Why do people become so engrossed with a brand? I've never ever understood that. 1079. I have had 1079. Yes, God, I was getting mixed up here, Heath. I thought that was the Kronenberg copy in a blue label, like a Kronenberg with a date on, but I must call it something else. 1079 Project, silver can, red writing, if I remember rightly. I think I did do it. I can't remember what I thought of it. I do so many beer reviews. I've done so many beer reviews. I can't remember every beer, to be honest. I'm coming up to 2,000 beers on YouTube. So I do tend to get a little bit muddled up. I don't know. I mean, Miller, for me, it's not really on my radar, Miller, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. That's terrible, Matthew. Drink at the weekend only, mate. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Drink at the weekend only. So it's Saturday brunch. Who's on what and who's drinking what? Tell us in the comments. I'll run till about past, most probably, on this. So tell us exactly what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're doing, and whatever. Stick it in the comments. Might pop on again tomorrow as well. Sometime. It's great having a good old natter now and again. Yeah, fantastic. It's been great live stream so far. Beer Hound says, Matthew Barker, I'll back you up on that decision. I think Beer Hound should be going to bed soon. Shouldn't it be about 5 o'clock now, is it? 6 o'clock? California. But in the comments, what time it is. I'm sure it is getting that time. Yeah, so like I say, today, a bit of a washout, to be honest. Absolutely pelting it down. Here we go now. Christoph might know this. Brasserie 1897. I don't know if I've done that either, Christoph, to be honest. I might have. I can't remember. I can't remember, mate. I really can't. It sounds familiar. Little stubby bottles. Might be. That sounds familiar. I might have done that. Can't remember. Beerhound says it's almost nap time for sure. Yeah, it will be. It'll be breakfast time soon. Getting your candied bacon out and your maple syrup. I think that's what you have in America, isn't it? Candied bacon. Which some people over here think is pretty disgusting, but I don't reckon it'll be quite nice candied bacon. I have a date with my Mike Lindell, my pillow. I don't get that. That sounds another American thing. If you go in, then Mr. Beerhound, thank you very much for joining us. If you're going to go to sleep, I have this effect on people, sending people to sleep, you know. It's just one of these things I just do. If you know what I mean. Hello, Simo. How you doing, mate? I bet you just got up, and I'm sure you just got up. Knowing you. Back on the beer, knowing you. Beer for breakfast. Can't beat a few breakfast beers. So spam, sausage, chorizo, eggs, lots for. Oh, that sounds fantastic. That does. PA Brew News is in. Hello, mate. How you doing? How you keeping? It's going a bit crazy now. Copy of Cronenberg, says Christoph. Yes, that's the one I haven't had. I'm rough, mate. Simo, just hair of the dog. Have a beer. You soon be all right. Neil Morgan says, all eat, Simo. Yeah, Simo's just up. Must have been a late one for you then, mate, eh? I bet it was. But he's drinking till about 4 o'clock in the morning, knowing him. Yeah, so Saturday brunch. What's everybody eating? Apart from Simo, because he's just got up, most probably. I think he has. Also, don't forget Spice and Easy Fab Show next weekend. Vote for the strange sandwich and make it nice for us, please. Beer House is just saying good night. Well, good night, mate. Have a nice sleep. And nice talking to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Christoph is on Aldi's copy of Elvis Juice. Aldi's copy of Aldi's. I don't know what that's called. I couldn't tell you, Christoph, what that's called. Tell us what it's called in the comments. I might have had it. I might not have had it. Who knows? I'm drinking this, but I don't think it's crap, to be honest. It's a chocolate port from M&S, and it's a bit boring, to be honest with you. So, anybody who's eating what? We got the people saying what they're drinking, but what are they eating? Someone must be eating something now. It's dinner time. Wow. 1:20. I won't be eating any cat food for this video. I might save that for another time. Obviously. So I haven't been to this. As I said earlier in this live stream, I haven't really looked at any of the beers in the supermarkets because I'm a little bit, what's the word? Fed up with supermarket beer, to be honest. It's a little bit mediocre, run of the mill. You're paying $3.50 a can on some of the stuff, and it's getting a wee bit boring and predictable. So it's been a natural thing for this channel to just go over and start to do beers from local breweries and stuff. You know what I mean? Got some Cumberland sausages in the fridge. Make a butter. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Bit of mustard on. You know, Cumberland sausages. Lovely. Mark JMJ. Hello, mate. How you doing? How you keeping? What you drinking? What you eating? Tell us what you're doing. Nice to hear from you. How is it? I think he's asking Memphis Boulevard. I can't remember if I've had that. Hot dogs. Oh, he's on the hot dogs. Hot dogs. Oh, that sounds. Hot dogs, latchings of mustard. Oh, lovely stuff. German mustard, maybe. Bit of German mustard. Love a Cumberland sandwich. I might make a sausage sandwich now. Um, Mark J. MJ says, all right, Neil Simo, okay-ish. In other words, it's a bit mediocre. Is it, Christoph? I'd imagine it could be a mediocre beer. I'd imagine, like a lot of the stuff, it's the same old, but in a different can, maybe. Who's the brewer behind that, Christoph? Don't mind me asking. Shepherd Knee, maybe? Could be, couldn't it? Shepherd Knee. They do a lot of these kind of like supermarket beers. There's always something there, isn't there? Afternoon, Mark J. MJ says, Neil, yeah, so cracking live stream. Hey, no, you can't, Leah. I'll tell you what, put it in the suggestions for the Fab Show. We much appreciate. I'm sure we would all appreciate that. It might annoy Al, obviously, because he'll want us to have something sick. He's on a Jupiler, first point of the day, the PD. I've got to get myself a PD. I keep putting it off. You know, everyone's getting PDs, but I need to maybe have to go out and get one because I'm feeling a little bit left out now. Seems like everybody's on the PDs. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got off one. That sounds disgusting, Leah. It does. Oh, crikey. I hope no one votes for that. I really don't. Gone off sausage for Fab Show strange sandwich. That sounds horrendous. Oh, it does. Mark Jones J says, hi, Leah. You feeling better? She must be to come up with something like that, an off sausage for a Fab Show sandwich. She must feel better. Yeah, I'm going to have to, and I, because I'm the odd one out now. Everyone's got one. It's kind of like every home should have one. You know what it feels like, Neil? It feels like going back in time and everybody's starting to get colour televisions. This is speaking metaphorically. And you're the only one left with a black and white television. That's what it feels like. Everyone's watching colour and you're still watching black and white. Every home's got to have a PD. Every house that's going to be built now will have a PD in it. Mark, yeah, someone knows a bit running timeless. Thanks for asking. If that's COVID related, that timeless stays for ages, to be honest, Leah. It's COVID. It stayed with me for 6 weeks. Fatigue, it was all over the place for me. Lots of fatigue and that. But no, it's just one of them things. But at the end of the day, I think everybody's going to end up, everyone's got it, isn't they, COVID? Williams Brothers, yes. Williams Brothers, they're everywhere in that store, aren't they, Christoph? I do like Williams Brothers. Some of their beers are nice. I tell you what I haven't seen for a while is that Heather beer they did, the Frauch, Fraoch. I haven't seen that about. But, you know, I will pick one up. I've got the Schneider Bayerisch Hells to go in the PD tonight. Enjoy that, Simo, mate. I'm sure you will. I bet there won't be much left of it in the morning. I bet you're drinking a lot. Neil says, I'm going to get that to try, Simo. Yeah. He'll be in a state, no doubt. Mind you, still can't taste anything, though. So, Neil, save your money, get yourself some Fosters. Or Carling, something like that. Would do, definitely. I thought to myself, well, I could save money and get in a PD and just get the kegs and just whack them open with a hammer and screwdriver. That might work, mightn't it? Saving money on the machine, just get a load of tools and just smack the living fuck out of them. They're selling the Bud Light and PD. Yes, we know. Captain Keggy Barry from All the Beer No Idea will be getting that in. He said he's going to get it in. Simo says 27 quid a keg. Would you really spend 27 quid on something which has got Bud Light on it? I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I don't know how you can justify spending 27 quid on a Bud Light keg. I just couldn't do it. I've got some Hofmeister Hells. Follow the Bear, Neil. Follow the Bear. I haven't yet to try that yet. I'll have to try the old Hofmeister, to be honest. Fantastic adverts out of the 80s, weren't they? They were great. Yeah, Follow the Bear, the old bear with a pork pie hat and the yellow bomber jacket. Follow the Bear. That's not a very good impression, really, isn't, to be honest with you. It's pretty shit. Pretty shocking, to be honest. Not very good impressions. I could finish a can of Bud Light, let alone I couldn't. Oh, right, you couldn't. No, I couldn't either. I think there's better things to spend your money on than that. It really is. Driving home now, I'll listen to you. Don't cause a crash, will you, mate? Bud Light keg is an absolute joke. I'm slamming a perfect draft keg in when I get home. Tiny Rebel Cali Pal, what you been up to, JB? Well, I've been up to, well, I was supposed to go out today. Plans have changed. Ended up reviewing some beer this morning. One of them was off, really off, which I will put up, actually. I will put the review up after this stream, to be honest. It was terrible. And that's all I've done this morning. I was supposed to have gone out to a brewery, funny enough, but I didn't. It's cracking beer now, not the piss it was. I don't know what you're talking about. The Bud Light, Neil. Sounds it, doesn't it? It's a Bud Light. He's saying it's a cracking beer. Bud Light used to be piss, you know, but it's cracking now. That's terrible, isn't it? Bud Light for the PD. I just can't comprehend who would buy it. I really can't. Would you buy a PD machine just to stick Bud Light in it? I don't know. I really don't know. This might be this is a controversial. The thing about the PD is even mediocre beer is drinkable on the machine, so I think you'd be surprised. Oh, I don't know about that. Is it the fact is that I don't know if it would be. And Bud Light's Bud Light at the end of the day. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. Not sure on that one, mate. I need to relax. I'm super mad. I have a quiet place by the creek to fish, and people came to me right next to me, even though the damn things is wide open. Yeah, I get. You know, that is irritating, isn't it? You know, it's like sitting in a park and you got benches all the way around the park and they're all empty, and then suddenly two people would come and sit right next to you and start nattering. You know, shut the fuck up. You got the whole park. I know where you're coming from with that. It's annoying. I think they do it on purpose. It's cracking beer now. I meant Hofmeister. Follow the Bear, mate. Follow the Bear. Had a bad night, so I wanted some quiet alone. I chucked the bait in the creek and marched. Oh, bloody chuck the bait at them. So, yeah, take that, fucking you twats. I hate humans, so back onto the beer now. I mean, humans are pain in the arse. We all are pain in the arse. We really are. They really are. You know, when you whinge, 9 times out of 10 you're whinging about somebody. They're just annoying, especially they just are. I totally empathise with you, mate. I know where you're coming from. Sometimes you want to be alone, you want to be quiet, you want to get lost in your own thoughts, and suddenly somebody comes over and ruins your day. So I know where you're coming from with that. Definitely. Sometimes it's nice being in your own little world without the bullshit, without anything. It is. It really is. Mark James MJ says, yeah, I don't fish, so I used to do prawning years ago with spoon nets, but I don't fish. No, I haven't got the patience for fishing. Just I just haven't. What are you supposed to be? Put your rod in, you fall asleep, maybe. I don't know. Some people just do it to get away from the wife, don't they? At the end of the day, where are you going? I'm going fishing. You know. I'm in the smoked beer world, German style. Schenkerler, are we on, sir? I do like a good smoked beer. I do. There's an acquired taste, smoked beers, but I have to say that they are very, very nice indeed. I do like them. Got to be in the mood for them to really, truly appreciate them. But Schenkerler out of Germany are fantastic beers. They really are. Especially their double bock, the Ike. Is it the Ike? E-I-C-H-E? Is that how you spell it? Say it, shall I say? Fantastic beer, it really is. Really enjoyable stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they are fantastic, Neil, aren't they? They are cracking. But even the lager is a real decent beer. It really is. It's just got lovely elements of smoke in it. It's just really, really nice. Really nice. Highly recommend anybody who wants to try decent smoked beers is to try the Schenkerler. Yeah, that's them. That's the ones. Absolutely beautiful, aren't they? Absolutely beautiful beers. They're just great. Never get tired of drinking smoked beers. Never. An acquired taste for sure, but they are absolutely wonderful, wonderful beers to really, really enjoy. So yeah, so it's been a great stream. It really, really has. Considering I just did this off the cuff, I thought, oh, this might be a good way just to come on and see who's about, and it's been really, really great. I might put another one up tomorrow, actually. Anybody hanging around home tomorrow? I've got some stuff to do in the morning, but I might come on again and do another one. So I'm going to end it now. It's been fantastic talking to you lot. It really has. And cheers, Neil. Cheers, Leah. Cheers, PA Brew News. Cheers, Mark, J, and Jay, Tommy. Everybody who's been on. I really, really appreciate it. So see you on another one. Cheers, everyone.